Live from Minnesota's news channel, KSTP Channel 5, Mike Binkley, Karen Falloon, and Mark Stevens bring you the Eyewitness News Update.
Before the packed Saddle Dome, Minnesota's own Jill Trenery made her bid for an Olympic medal. She gave it her all, complete with glittery costume and lots of choreography, but outstanding performances by her competitors just pushed the glory out of her reach. Good evening, everyone. I'm Angela. Storm Mike Binkley is on assignment in Calgary. We'll have more on Jill Trenery's bid for a medal in a few minutes. But first, the story thousands of Twin Cityans have been waiting to hear. Is Northwest on strike? That possibility is on hold tonight. No picket lines went up today, but no settlement was reached either. How long will this be in limbo? Union leaders say they don't expect to make any announcement until tomorrow at the earliest. For more, let's join reporter Jackie Renner live from Bloomington to tell us what's been happening. Jackie?
Angela, the 16-member bargaining committee for flight attendants had been meeting in this room. Within the last hour, the meeting broke up and they went home for the night. The bargaining committee was going over Northwest's last contract proposal with a fine-tooth comb. They want to find out what they like about it and what they don't like about it. Union representatives began gathering here at 5 o'clock this evening after a day filled with confusion. Their chief negotiator left the bargaining table this morning declaring the flight attendants were going on strike.
So are you officially declaring a strike?
Yeah, we're declaring a strike.
Flight attendants were ready with picket signs at strike headquarters, but official word to strike never came down. This evening, the union's top negotiator explained they've decided to talk again with a federal mediator about the issues.
We spoke to the mediator, and the mediator said, let's get together and see if we can work this particular situation before you put yourself in concrete, and then you can't move out of this situation at all. And that's what we're doing right now. We're meeting with them 7:30 tonight.
Now, Genovese plans to come back here tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock and meet again with the full bargaining committee. He says right now the union wants to investigate and explore all of their options. Among those options, he says, is the possibility of what he calls an internal strike or an internal work slowdown. He also says there is a possibility of putting off a strike until the machinist contract expires next month. That would open up the possibility to have both unions on strike at the same time. But for now, no announcement on any strike by flight attendants at Northwest Airlines is expected until tomorrow at the earliest. Angela?
And Jackie, no talk about setting a new strike deadline?
No new strike deadline has been set. Genovese says legally the union could strike at any time. He also says legally the company has the right to impose a contract on the union.
All right, Jackie, thank you very much for that report. Northwest flight attendants across the country are waiting and wondering tonight. This afternoon in Detroit, where 2,300 flight attendants are based, union workers held a rally on the ramp at the Northwest terminal. Flight attendants were joined by baggage handlers and mechanics who are members of the Machinist Union at Northwest. The rally was a display of union solidarity. However, flight attendants said they were upset that no members of the pilots union at Northwest took part in that rally. In the Twin Cities, it appeared to be business as usual, with flight attendants making their scheduled trips. Travel agencies that were open today, though, say it wasn't quite business as usual. They report lots of calls from hesitant travelers.
They're calling, asking questions. Is Northwest on strike? What do we do with our tickets? What do we do with our non-refundables? Can we get out on a flight? What do we do if we're stranded?
Travel agents say most of the other air carriers are honoring Northwest tickets if there's space available, and we'll keep you posted on any new developments in this pending strike. Now, as we promised, we have that story for you about a figure skater from Minnetonka who's made Minnesota proud, whatever the results tonight. Let's join Mark Curtis and Wendy Lubavitch live via News Star at the Winter Olympics in Calgary. Hi, guys.
Hi, Angela. You know, Jill Trenery just shy of a medal tonight, but I'll tell you, she is a very elegant skater, and I expect big things from her in the future.
You know, the thing about it, they're not only athletes, but they're performers, and like any performer, some nights you're going to be on, and some nights you're not. She said it wasn't her best performance, but she finished 4th overall,
That's
which
not
is
bad.
extremely respectable. And 1992, Albertville, France is not that far away, so who knows, maybe she'll stay around for that. But either way, a great performance tonight. She went into her long program tonight knowing what the situation was. First of all, she had to skate the best program of her life. blow the judges away in the process and wait for one of the other skaters to make a mistake. None of that happened tonight, and Jill Trenery will not win a medal. Coming up in just a little bit, we'll take a look at Jill Trenery's performance, and we hope to get some reaction. Rob Lear is downtown right now in the process of getting some reaction for you. We'll take a look at that, hear what either Bob Trenery, her dad, had to say, or maybe even Jill herself. Also, Alberto Tomba of Italy, another gold medal for Alberto, and St. Paul's Katie Klass, maybe skating the last race of her career. All of that coming up in just a few minutes in sports.
A lot coming up, and you know, the grace and beauty of the ice is really paralleled by the beauty of the natural surroundings in this area, and a lot of artists in this area are really inspired by that. Many of the artists who live in Canmore. Coming up, Angela, we're going to meet some of those artists. A very special story a little later on.
And we'll look forward to all of that. Thank you, Mark and Wendy. And when we come back, we'll look at news around the world. We'll find out why Panama is in a power struggle and what's happened to the man who was president just yesterday. And we'll tell you if this Democratic candidate has decided to stick it out in the presidential race in the United States.
You've noticed it before. Something missing in your margarine. Taste, flavor, richness. Now Land O'Lakes has found what you've been missing. The taste of sweet cream. In Land O'Lakes spread with sweet cream. Just enough sweet cream to make it sweet, creamy, buttery, yet it has almost no cholesterol. Land O'Lakes spread with sweet cream. The taste you've been missing.
Big news from the world of boating. Thousands are rushing to their Mariner outboard dealer. They're finding the fishing boats of their dreams. Dream boats on skis. Attractive financing, too. Get this deep V fishing rig for only $79 a month. Or the deluxe walleye hunter, just $99 a month. Or this sporty runabout for only $149 a month. See your Mariner outboard dealer now. See Town and Country Marine in Cokato and Sportport in Osseo.
Did you know that there's a frozen pizza that has 50% more toppings than Domino's or Pizza Hut pizza? And twice the toppings of our regular frozen pizza? It's called Twice Top Tony's Pizza because it's piled high with real cheese, sausage, pepperoni, and the finest vegetables. So when you're in the freezer section at your store, look for Twice Top Tony's Pizza. We're doing all we can to help you remember the name. Twice Top Tony's Pizza.
Through the years, the mothers of America have had a kind of medical training.
Next.
They've learned from countless doctors and pharmacists that the way to take care of a cough is with Robitussin. And now at home, the mothers of America are putting this advice to work.
Next.
Robitussin, recommended by Dr. Mom. Which Robitussin is right for you? Ask your doctor or pharmacist.
In the news around the world tonight, deposed Panamanian President Eric Arturo del Valle is in hiding after fleeing military leaders out to arrest him. Relatives say del Valle escaped from his house to avoid deportation by military strongman Manuel Noriega. Del Valle tried to fire Noriega, but he refused to step down. Del Valle is reported safe and in contact with U.S. officials. In Panama today, a general strike was called by opposition groups to pressure Noriega.
This is just an element. We are going to paralyze the country. We are going to use non-violent means because we cannot confront a very well-equipped, corrupted army.
The strike got off to a slow start today, but more businesses pledged to join in next week. 2 separate plane crashes across the world, and in both, the pilots may be to blame. A Turkish airliner slammed into a mountain in Cyprus, killing all 15 people on board. In the Soviet Union, a Soviet airliner crashed on a Siberian runway and burst into flames. 51 people were on the plane. The number of victims was not reported. Gary Hart. Now, first he was in the presidential race, then he dropped out, then he was back in again. Now the Colorado senator says he's going the distance, even though he admits the chances for victory are slim. Hart said he's staying in the race to force other candidates to address views on issues like the budget and the Persian Gulf. He was in Atlanta to participate in a Democratic debate. And during that debate in Atlanta, sparks were flying. Massachusetts Governor Michael Dukakis and Tennessee Senator Al Gore took shots at each other on which candidate has better foreign policy credentials. And Missouri Congressman Richard Gephardt took a pounding from his fellow contenders on his trade proposals. The Republican presidential hopefuls take the stage tomorrow night. The debate wasn't the only thing the Democratic candidates residents participated in. They, along with thousands of people, many of them homeless men and women, took to the streets in Atlanta. The huge rally in March was held in order to bring attention to the plight of the homeless and to make it an issue in the 1988 campaign. You may have been one of the many Twin Cityans out for a walk on this warm weekend day. When we come back, Karen Falloon will tell us if Sunday's going to be a repeat. That and more live via News Star from Calgary, so don't go away.
Nobody's better in cold than all-temperature cheer.
Your family's back home today, so wake 'em up their favorite way. 'Cause there's Folgers to brew, the aroma's calling you. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your car.
Nothing brightens your morning like mountain-grown Folgers. Mountain-grown coffee beans have more enticing aroma and richer flavor than any other kind.
That rich aromatic blend is your best morning friend. Starts you out feeling good, that day goes like it should. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your car.
When you're driving for the gold, you go all out. And right now, your Lincoln Mercury dealers celebrate that same spirit with their Drive for the Gold event. An all-out effort to win your business with up to $1,000 customer cash on select models. The aerodynamic Mercury Sable, the sleek Mercury Cougar, the sporty Mercury Topaz, and other great values. Drive for the gold. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer today.
If ever there was a great day to be out at the lake, this was it. Plenty of anglers took advantage of the nice weather while they could. That's because there won't be too many days left to ice fish. Ice houses have to come down by Monday night. You know, it seemed as if the whole...
Right. I forgot about
the 29th leap year. It seemed as if the whole population was out today. Everyone just came to life with this nice weather.
Well, not only that, but I noticed the attitudes are beginning to... People have been so cranky the last couple of weeks, and now they're beginning to smile a little bit more. Weather has that effect on people. I don't know about the Northeast, though. They may be a little crabby. They've been getting snow showers for the last several days. Lake effect snows, and now another low pressure over northern Virginia tonight is producing some snowfall from Virginia through Pennsylvania into New York. And Albany today, Albany, New York, had about 2 inches of snowfall. That's now spreading to the northeast and east. But still, a few lake effect snows are expected on the lee side of the lakes. Elsewhere, Rapid City, they jumped up to 75 degrees this afternoon. A very pleasant day out that way. Not only was it a record high for the day, but it was also the warmest temperature ever recorded in the month of February in all the time that they've been keeping records in that city. Well, now in the west, there were a few scattered showers during the day in central California, but as that moisture spread inland, a few thunderstorms popped up. At Winslow, Arizona, they got a little bit of rain, but they also got some hail with those thunderstorms. And now in just the last few minutes, reading some of the things coming across the wire this evening, there are now a few thunderstorms in the San Francisco area. Here in the Twin Cities, we have clear skies. Still, our weather is rather quiet by comparison. Temperatures tonight will be in the upper 20s. Tomorrow, waking up, partly cloudy skies and 35 degrees. And then during the day, variable cloudiness. We have a cool front on the way. That should arrive sometime tomorrow morning. And right now, the timing is putting it around 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. Highs just ahead of that front will be 39 to 44 degrees. Our high temperature today was 38 degrees. You see there a downtown shot of Calgary. And our low this morning to start the day was 23, and we've had no precipitation. Currently, we've dropped back now to 29 degrees. Clear skies yet. Winds are now out of the southeast at 6 miles an hour. The humidity is 78%, and the pressure continues to fall. The coolest temperatures in the upper Midwest are right here in southeastern Minnesota, western Wisconsin. It's in the upper 20s to lower 30s. But as you head back out to the west and northwest, the temperatures start to warm up a little bit. Not only do they have stronger southwest winds, but they also have a little bit of cloudiness. Up at War Road and Grand Forks, they have 38 degrees this hour. The warm spot, though, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, with 42 degrees. Now, for tomorrow, that front should come through here in the morning hours. Again, just ahead of that front, the temperatures will be in the 40s, but then some cooler air making its way in behind that front, and the winds will be rather gusty. Northern Minnesota, with that front passing through, we'll see a few flurries and cloudy skies and in the 30s. Southern half of the state, a mixture of clouds and sun, and temperatures in the 40s. And western Wisconsin, partly sunny skies, temperatures probably mid to upper 40s. Looking ahead the next few days, that cool front will actually bring those temperatures back to normal for the middle of the week. There will be nothing more than a few clouds passing overhead, and the temperatures at night will be in the teens with highs in the upper 20s to near 30 degrees.
Well, it sounds like we got the better end of the deal for once. We basked in the sun while Calgarians were chilled by snow. Let's go back to Mark and Wendy live via News Star in Calgary. Snow, that's a switch for you guys.
Oh, boy, I tell you, it certainly is, Angela, but I'm glad to hear that you guys had nice weather today. Well, the snow probably did bring many of us into the stores, and everybody was souvenir shopping today here in Calgary. You can definitely tell that the Olympics are winding down here on a Saturday. Look at this now. Medium, medium, medium. Many shops are sold out of large and extra large shirts as visitors rush for last-minute souvenirs. Souvenir salesmen say they were low on stock even before the games began, and they say they just haven't been able to keep up with the demand. But this man here, you got bags full today.
I don't even want to think about how much I spent today, but you've got to take stuff home for everybody, right? Coming up next in sports, St. Paul's Katie Klass closes out her Olympic competition, and more on Jill Trenery's finale tonight. I'll have those stories and more coming up next from Calgary.
If you grow soybeans, try Command from FMC, the only grass herbicide that also controls broadleaf weeds. At 1.5 to 2 pints per acre, Command controls grasses and broadleaf weeds without damaging the crop. And Command controls weeds all season long because...
Introducing the all-new Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. Four-wheel disc brakes, a multi-port fuel-injected V6 engine, four-wheel independent suspension, and aerodynamic styling even the wind can't resist. In short, the new Cutlass Supreme is not your father's Oldsmobile.
We haven't missed a morning in 7 years. She wants this more than anything in the world.
We know that dreams, like ideas, won't live without the support of others. So as you watch the 1988 Olympic Games, remember, nobody got there alone. 3M, supporting the dream.
Welcome back to Calgary, everybody. Before we go on any further, we were saying before that we were efforting to get you some tape back, some reactions from Jill Trenery tonight. Because of tremendous traffic delays downtown, we're not going to be able to get that tape back for you tonight, but we do hope to have some reaction from Jill's program for you tomorrow. As we were telling you, though, a few minutes ago, Jill Trenery finished 5th tonight in her long program. She started the night in 5th place and finished 4th overall, which is very, very respectable. Not a bad night for Jill. She was the first skater in the final group, and you could tell early on that she was skating conservatively. impressively. A lot of her triples turned into doubles, and that cost her a bit in technical merit and presentation. Jill said afterwards on ABC that she felt a little bit tired towards the end of the program, and that could have been the difference. Still, she goes home in 4th place, just 1 out of the medal, and just think that she is 4th in the world. We're all very proud of Jill Trenery tonight. Now, what about the gold medal performance? As expected, it came down to a battle between Katharina Witt of East Germany and Debbie Thomas. Here's a look at the winning performance tonight by Katharina Witt. Again, Witt wins the gold medal. Canada's Elizabeth Manley, what a surprise here tonight, wins the silver, and Debbie Thomas takes home the bronze. By the way, Karen Kadavy withdrew from the competition because of flu problems today. Thursday night, after skating the 1,000 meters, St. Paul's Katie Klass told us she wanted one more crack at it. After all, this was her second Olympics, maybe their final competition, the final race of her career, and she wanted to go out in style. Skating in the grueling 1,500 meters tonight, Klass came out strong, seemed to be on a world record pace, but as we said, this is a grueling race. The kind of a race that takes its toll on the final 200 meters. In the end, Klass finished 13th, certainly not what she expected. Bonnie Blair also came out strong. Now, keep in mind, she's more of a sprinter. This is not her distance. Still, she finished a very respectable 4th tonight. Yvonne von Hennep of Holland won the gold, her second gold medal of these Olympics. Sometime in the near future, don't be surprised if you see Italy's Alberto Tomba up on the big screen. He has become the heartthrob of that nation. He could be the next Marcello Mastroianni. He's good looking, he's got a great personality, and today won his second gold medal of the Olympics, this time in the men's slalom. Look at Tomba coming through the gates. He looks more like a linebacker than a skier. Tomba, a national hero in Italy tonight. A couple of days ago, we were telling you about the problems on the U.S. cross-country ski team, and they continue today. The top U.S. finisher, as it turned out, was 47th. He was Kevin Brockman of Stillwater, and that was in the 50-kilometer ski race. Gunde Svan of Sweden won the gold medal in that event. Well, that's it from here. A busy day in Calgary, but it's also a busy day back where Joe Schmidt is standing by with a look at the rest of the day in sports. Joe?
All right, Mark, thanks a lot. The way the Gopher hockey team is playing right now, they should challenge the Russians for the gold medal. The Gophers will advance to the semifinals of the WCHA tournament after beating Colorado College 5-0 tonight. Another superb performance by the hottest goalie in the country. Rob Stauber has 4 shutouts in his last 8 games. Here he stopped the penalty shot by Keith Hobby. He is unbelievable. Stauber got some offense tonight when Ben Hankinson scored here to give the Gophers a 2-0 lead. The Gophers went on to win it from there, 5-0. What a goalie he is. While the Gophers move on into playoffs, the North Stars continue to see their playoff hopes go down the drain. The Stars were baked in Boston this afternoon, 7-4. You cannot complain the way the Stars started off this game. 12 seconds into the game, Rick Bowe scores to give the Stars the lead. That's Bowe's first NHL game. His brother Rambo had to be proud. Later on, Dino Ciccarelli will move from behind the net and stuff this one in. His 32nd goal of the season gave the Stars a 3-1 lead. But Boston came back behind Ross Cartnell. He scored his first hat trick of his career as the Bruins come back to beat the Stars 7-4. Minnesota will be in New Jersey tomorrow. And while the North Stars and Strikers share the same home, they don't share the same record. The first-place Strikers won tonight against the LA Lasers 6-3, their 11th win in a row at home. Hector Marinero to Steve Kinsey to put the Strikers up 3-2. Later in the third period, score tied at 3. Gary Etherington dribbles down the line, nails it home. Strikers win it 6-3, giving Alan Merritt his 100th victory as a coach. So the Strikers are now 4 games up in the Eastern Division.
Okay, and we'll be back with more in just a moment.
Nobody's better in cold than all-temperature cheer.
Too bad. A lot of cleaners dry streaked and dull.
But Mr. Clean dries so shiny, it looks wet.
Uh-oh, it's dry.
So your floor looks shiny wet even when dry.
We haven't missed a morning in 7 years. She wants this more than anything in the world.
At 3M, we know that dreams, like ideas, won't live without the support of others. So as you watch the 1988 Olympic Games, remember nobody got there alone. 3M, supporting the dream.
You know, for many visitors here in Calgary, the Rocky Mountains are absolutely spectacular. But what about the people who live here every day? Well, Catherine Smith is here to tell us that these people even never tire of these beautiful mountains, and she's standing by right now in downtown Calgary with that story. Catherine.
Wendy, you know, when you live in a city like Calgary or towns like Banff and Canmore, the mountains do become a part of your life, and that's why a growing group of artists have chosen Canmore as the place to get their inspiration.
You can't just look at one or two mountains and say that's the Rocky Mountains. Every one is quite different.
That's what brought watercolorist Marilyn Kinsella to Canmore. She moved here from Calgary several years ago to be closer to the scenes she paints. Her favorite subject? Winter in the Rockies.
I really like the shadows and everything in the winter. The mountains are really spectacular. You know, the lighting is really wonderful on them.
During the past 5 years or so, dozens of artists have come to call Canmore home. Like Marilyn, many say the surroundings help their creative process.
It's easier to paint here. I'm painting the mountains better, and they're all around me all the time, and I just enjoy the feeling of the place.
Lee Dosher may not make mountains from her lumps of clay, but she says her inspiration comes from the people of Canmore.
The community here has been very supportive, very we have community art shows and, you know, like people buy things, but not only that, just a lot of good critiques and a lot of good comments, a lot of support that way.
Lee's studio is right across from the Canmore Athletes Village with a $1 million view of the mountains. Tourist business hasn't been as brisk as she'd hoped, but several commissions for athletic events like these clay trophies she's making are keeping her busy. For Olympic athletes, these mountains are an obstacle to conquer, but for the artist, they're an elusive subject with an ever-changing face and personality. It must be a beautiful place to be every day, but Lee and Marilyn both were willing to admit to us the day we were out there talking to them that sometimes it's a little too easy to play hooky. Mark, Wendy?
All right, Kate, thanks.
Well, I can understand that.
I still paint by number.
Do you? Yeah. Coming up tomorrow, we're going to give you a behind-the-scene look here at the crew of Calgary, and it's not going to look quite as glamorous as you might think. You don't want to miss that one. Angela?
Yeah, I can see it now. Piles of dirty clothes everywhere, right? Well, we'll look for you guys tomorrow. Thanks. And thank you for joining us. Good night, everyone.